All right, everyone. Welcome back to another Fridays with Frankie segment presented by the Frankie and Ding Dong Show. I am your co-host, Frankie Avalon. With me is my best friend and partner, King Ding Dong.
How you guys doing tonight? This is a Friday with Frankie segment, and it should be a lot of fun.
It is. We're going to be covering a bunch of stuff tonight. Our one ball brawl tournament from this past Sunday, a couple upcoming tournaments. I know there's some other stuff going on this weekend, maybe a little bit of league recap. We got some new ball releases today. So we're going to kind of get into a bunch of stuff. Please, if you see this, share it on your pages. You can check us out on our YouTube channel, The Frankie and Ding Dong Show. You can check us out on Twitch through The Frankie and Ding Dong Show, our Facebook Live, Frankie and Ding Dong Show, as we are streaming everything through StreamYard. So check it out on all the social platforms. Like our YouTube page. And if we get to 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel, we're definitely going to do a pretty cool giveaway. And we'll have more details on that as we get closer to 1,000 subscribers. So just kind of want to get into the nuts and bolts of it. Ding Dong, let's get right into this one ball brawl recap.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a wild event. We had the Sand Shark Redux custom oil pattern from that we designed. Me, the mad scientist Greg, kind of came up with this awesome oil pattern, and
it was great.
It played just the way it should. I think the cut for the tournament was minus 65. And so, minus 65 over 4 games, if you're averaging in the 180s, you're going to make some money. And we took top 16 into match play. It was single elimination match play. First round was your average, plus your, the pin differential between the top seed and the bottom seed. And then just the 1 game match. I mean, Ramalam just ran away with qualifying. It was just absolutely ridiculous to see what he did. And he had, I think, a 57 pin advantage over his opponent in that first round, which was insane. But
that's just his average. Ramalam averaging like 241 on the day.
Yeah.
Absolutely just ran away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, he was plus 165.
Yeah.
So,
right in front of me. Very impressive display of bowling on a very tough score shot.
Yes.
Sand Shark Redux proved to be fairly scoreable, though, compared to if you guys remember back to the first year of the first ball brawl, we did that 1-to-1 40-foot pattern, and the cup that year was like minus 160-ish, I think, or something like that. So it definitely was a little bit scoreable in comparison to that. Plus, Frankie, I got to think that our bowlers are getting even that much better.
Oh, I agree. I agree. Yes.
Because we have been putting them on this tough stuff, and they're really responding great to it. And, they're starting to really learn how to, play the lanes, and that's really great, Frankie. I'm really proud of the bowlers this year, for sure.
I agree. And, it's a testament to the fact that we're putting out stuff like 1.4 to 1, like 15 mils of oil. And bowlers are finding a line. They're adjusting during the day. They're making the shot look a lot easier than the shot really is. I mean, we had some really decent scores in match play. A testament to how our bowlers not only broke down the pattern, but then played the pattern after they broke it down and knew to make those moves, further in as the day went along.
Game 5, Game 6, Game 7 on lanes that are already burnt out, as they say. We did see that huge 290 game in Game 2.
Yeah.
But like you said, we saw some games in the 270s in Game 5, Game 6.
Absolutely.
Later on in the day, it was incredible.
It was crazy, yeah. So I just put the graphic of the oil pattern up for people to see. And you can see we kind of dug a little trench there right in the track area, which really made it super hard. Like at the beginning of the day, if you were trying to play up that track area, the ball wanted to hook instantly. If you tried to get through that track area and around it, there was basically oil to 48 feet on the outside part of the lane.
Both sides of it.
On both sides. So
yeah.
It was, if you tried to kind of swing it, it just kind of wanted to go and just stay straight. If you tried to play up it, it hooked. So it was definitely really hard to start the day. And, that's what we wanted. So, that kept the scores down and kind of kept, a lot of people, hey, I shoot a 130, 140. I'm not out of it. Good example. Scotty Too Hottie.
Yeah,
comes out of the gates with 130 and ends up making the cut.
Oh, absolutely.
And making a run. So myself, I think Game 2, I shot 140 something. And it's like, did I bowl myself out of it? No. I ended up making the cut as well. I think as the 3rd or 4th seed. So.
Well, I got to give a nods up to you, Frankie. Your name is Frankie Avalon for a reason.
Yes.
I got to tell you, when you hit that ball with 3,000, that made all the difference. you almost did not miss after that. It was a beautiful thing to watch.
So that
absolutely transformed your ball reaction. And folks, so this is stuff you should be using during practice. You can't do it during competition, but during practice, you can change your surface and learn what it does. Frankie proved it. He shot 140, hit the ball with the 3000 pad, and then went light the fuck out. Got up there, fourth qualifier. Really awesome.
Which, speaking of awesome, I'm talking to the guy who was, I believe, the second qualifier. The only one of two to go positive.
Yes,
on the
that
day.
is correct.
You were what, plus 34, I think, during qualifying. You were incredible. Watching your first couple of games, it was like you were able to get in and kind of play where maybe people were a little afraid to. It started. You were playing deeper than a lot of guys were to start, and I think that was huge. And you just kept grinding. I know game 3 for you was a little bit tricky. And then
I missed the transition a little bit.
Yeah. And, we were on, like changing sides of the house always makes a huge difference. And but then I'll tell you, game 4, you came right back again and just had that huge finish. And that was, everything. And that got you in. You won your first round match in match play. Got to the top 8. I had a battle with Colonel Sanders.
It was really fun.
Right to the 10th, right to the last ball, and it was and you had a great day. So props to you for it was nice to have both of us actually in the top 4 and on the tough stuff. We love pulling on the tough stuff. So
absolutely,
tougher the better. And we're gonna be working on some more stuff. I mean, this was a great first tournament of the season for us to kick off the Frankie and Ding Dong show for the season. We have Jason Berthiaume with the Sharks. Absolutely, 2 Sharks making the cut. So, and Sparkles actually made a run at the cut.
He was only 12 pins out.
He was close.
For that matter, DDJ found it the last game and shot 200.
Yes.
What I think really made this shot tough was that burnt out section that you normally see in a normal shark pattern. We brought that all the way back to the foul line. So like Frankie said, you try to play up it hooked instantly. So you had to kind of get inside and play to it. And luckily I picked a ball, one of my favorite balls of all time, my Web Tour hybrid. It's only a 030 diff ball. I got a 5 1/4 inch pin by 25.
That rolls so good for you.
So it just, it wants to retain. And, so I was able to just play it in that oil and just kind of bounce it off of, the dry spot all day long. And I watched people try to play up it, like you said, and it hooked instantly. You try to play outside of it and forget it. It's 1.4 to 1, 1.43 to 1, 48 feet. It's not coming back. So, I mean, I like playing in the middle of the lane anyway. So I just got in, I was able to bang it as much as I wanted, really, because once I got my feet left enough, in the third game, I kind of missed the transition, moving to the sides. But once I got my feet that far left, I was incredible how far left I was. I'd never expected to get that far, but I was able to whack on it, miss left a little, miss right a little, not a ton, but it was enough.
We had comments coming in. Josh Alfonso says, besides not making the cut, glad to have the fill-in for you guys. Great bowling, both of you. Hey, by the way, that was awesome. I listened to the telecast. Thank you, Sunny D, Josh Alfonso, getting on the mic, helping out. Slow Ride was in there.
Thank you guys.
And, really appreciate you guys. And we like seeing guest announcers get in there and kind of, get in there and try it out, see if you like it. It's nice, to get other people's perspective and commentary. So,
and no lie, it's fun for Frankie and I get some bonus bowling in too. You guys get it in. We bring you guys these tournaments,
and we love doing the commentary. Don't get me wrong, but we love getting in there and make a little scratch too. So
we like bowling just as much as you guys. So that's why we
have a little ticker going up across on the screen that says we had 2 bowlers quit. I see this as an absolute win.
It's definitely a win.
It happens,
So negative cut.
It happens.
So that's what we're all about. So the thing of it is, you come into one of our tournaments, you don't expect it to be like your 3 gamer a week house night where you can go in, not think anything about it, twisted at the ditch. We make you think before you even sign up in this tournament. That's the mystique of this tournament. I love the fact that you have to pick the ball based upon what you saw out on the graph. We gave you a week to pick it, and you had to pick that ball before you showed up.
Elvis just will not leave you alone. He's crazy tonight. He's a good boy.
So he is a good boy.
I used a purple hammer.
Yes,
Shocker.
you did.
Shocker.
Lots of bowlers did use purple.
Well, that was the
ball
most popular ball for the
Definitely the
tournament.
most popular
As you
ball.
can tell, the sign behind me, days since Frankie stopped using urethane, 0. That was an accurate statement. So I went with my 3.5 by 55 purple hammer. It's a ball that's very comfortable for me. It's obviously a fairly strong pin. Being pinned down, it just kind of sees that mid lane and just rolls. So again, I was, minus. Well, I actually had the stats. So I ended up only 7 games on the day. I was minus 64 for 2. And
After the second game, yeah.
And then went plus 132 the next 5. So
that was right after you hit the ball.
Hit it with a 3,000 pad, and I said, what I was trying to really do at that point was the ball was kind of seeing it a little too fast, So if I hit it with the 3,000 pad, it gave me just enough length where I'm like, I can play right on the edge of that trench. If I tug it, it's going to just sit there in the oil and still get to the pocket.
Right.
And if I miss just a board or 2 left with that little extra length from the 3,000, it'll see that friction, but it'll get through just enough and then just still go like pocket. So it gave me a couple boards of miss room that I didn't have before at the box finish of the ball. So it was just awesome. It gave me, the ball just read so much differently. My ball reaction on the west side with that ball was really, really good.
Yeah.
And I think on the left side of the lane, the ball reaction was really, really good on the west side. I think if we had seen the finals on the east side, match play may have gone a little bit differently, but it's hard to say. We had 2 lefties make the cut, which was me and Ramalam. But our look on the left side of the lane, I think, was better on the west side. I think just having a little extra natural length, not as much traffic on that side, the ball just kind of floats through the front. So, on the left side, you can kind of jam it on the edge of that track and get away with it. So, just all those factors kind of rolled into it. I won my first match against Clean Jesus. Actually, he beat me by 4 pins, but I had the 10-pin advantage from the higher seeding.
Right.
So I was able to move on. Had a great match against Stom in the round of 8.
Yeah.
He bowled great. I want to say he shot 240 against me, but I shot 279. I went strike, stone 8-pin, strike to the 12th, stone 8-pin.
And this is game 6.
Right, on that pattern.
Was that 1 and 2 as
1
well?
and 2. That was on 1 and 2.
1 is known to hook anyway.
One hooks a ton. And so to find that look on that pair, and then ended up going over to, where were we? 5 and 6?
Yes,
I think for the semifinals. Yeah. And it came down to the 10th frame. Ramalam threw a double up against me. Actually, he struck out. And I needed to strike on the first ball and just got it in a little bit, and it just hooked. So didn't throw a great shot. But kudos to him. He made it all the way to the finals. Lost to Colonel Sanders. Congratulations, Colonel Sanders making $600.
Awesome bowling by Colonel Sanders.
So I'm going to put that up here for everyone to see. Colonel Sanders. Where are you? There it is.
Great bowling, Colonel. Congratulations. This is your first win as an official adult.
It was
title.
his first adult title. Yeah, we talked about that on Sunday, and he was super pumped about it. And he puts his time in. He bowls a lot of tournaments. Likes the tough stuff. So. Yeah, even in youth league, he bowled a lot of sports route tournaments, but he used to go with us to tournaments a lot. So
and we got to give a shout out to Nate Clark, who went even too. So there was one
Clark,
person who went even. Yeah, the 2 of us that went positive.
Yep.
Ram and I, and then you were 4th, right, Frankie?
I was 4th. Yep.
And you were only negative 5?
Yeah, 4 or 5. It was close. Yeah.
So sure. Great bowling. It was out there. Yeah. You could score. Once you hit your ball with the 3,000, you had probably the best look I saw with urethane. You did have Scotty Tuhani was using urethane.
He was using a purple.
He was letting it stand up and then back. It was almost hooking and then backing up to the head pin. Yeah. I noticed Excalibur kind of used that same technique as well.
He was using a U motion, another urethane. We had Old Jimmy made the finals. He was using a Pink Widow. I'm trying to think of anyone else that was made the top 16 was using urethane. I got the list right here, guys.
And I know that
Clean Jesus was not using urethane.
No, he was using a Hustle Link.
G-Force. I don't know what G-Force used. Couch? What was Couch using?
Couch was using his gold zone.
The old gold zone.
The old gold zone. Colonel Sanders was using the WebMB, as a matter of fact.
Putt didn't use urethane. Paul Eastman, I don't think used urethane. Hungest did not use urethane.
No.
Tommy Guns did not. So we had what, 1, 2,
Tommy
3,
used
4,
his damn good pearl.
4 urethanes out
Yeah.
of 16. So it
Okay.
kind of went, it's not bad. About a quarter of the bowlers using urethane. I think normally when I bowl a 48-foot pattern, I'm not using urethane.
Right.
When it's just that length and a normal volume, like a regular shark being, 30 mils of oil, that length, I'm not using urethane. Usually my rule of thumb for urethane is I don't use it much longer than 40 feet. I mean, 38, 39 is usually kind of where I cut it off. But with only 15 mils of oil, it made it basically to me like you put urethane in play, and it actually had more hold than I thought it would have. Like when you could get in on the pattern and actually get a decent amount of hold. So that was pretty impressive.
Well, so and here's the other factor. It's the one ball brawl. You have to use that ball for everything.
100%.
So on 15 mils of oil, you want to use something that you can make spares with.
That's the big thing. I was comfortable. I mean, I use my purple hammers for my spares now. So for me, it was like, I want to put something in my hand I know that I can make spares with all day.
Yeah.
And that was the key. I mean, I knew I wasn't gonna go out there and average 230 unless your name was Ram,
who averaged 240.
Yeah. So Scotty Tuhuddy said G-Force was using a vintage LT48.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Randy Plummer says, love the old gold zone. I'll tell you, Scotty Tuhuddy, if you just turned in, we mentioned your massive comeback. That was amazing to watch. Like, you threw it so freaking good.
He was using a purple hammer. His had
polished. Yeah, polished purple. Looked great.
Yeah.
I believe Master Splinter was using a
polished purple
as well. I mean, there was a lot of purple. So, I mean,
Nutsauce used purple.
So, a lot of urethane. But
Holden Green had purple.
Holden had a purple. I mean, purple was the most popular ball.
Oh, 100%.
For good reason. I mean, with a shirt. So
that fucking ball's good, Frankie.
It's really good.
It really is good.
So I mean, so we don't want to beat it to death, but that was a pretty fun event, and
it was great.
Won by resin. The guys that both made the finals, both were shooting resin.
Yeah.
So there's something to be said for that. I think Splinter and I talked about it Sunday after I got eliminated, that he thought that if it was on the west side, the left would look pretty good, and he was, we were both right about that. And he didn't think urethane would win the tournament once it got into it. He thought the guys that could get in and really bang on it, like Colonel Sanders, can get pretty deep and get around it.
Yeah, he was.
He was
impressive.
So he was spot on with that assessment.
So.
So and we also want to thank Brunswick Bowling for being a sponsor of the tournament and all the tournurnaments. And they supplied the Melee Jab Carbon. It was won by Mrs. Brady.
Yeah,
who won her first ever ball raffle. So
out of like 180 million tournaments.
Yeah, we've won we've run 150 tournaments, and we always put money into the ball raffle to help out. And I always make the joke that I've never won a ball and she's never won a ball, which is fine. But she ended up winning it, and she was so excited. So congratulations to Mrs. Brady for winning the Melee Jab Carbon.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
thank you to Brunswick.
Thank you to Bowler Builders Pro Shops for being a sponsor once again, offering free drilling of the winning balls. So I'm pretty sure Mrs. Brady knows a guy who can take care of that for her.
Yeah, I think so too, Frankie.
And will drill the ball. So
speaking of Bowler Builders Pro Shop, are we talking about these beautiful new releases that just came out today?
Yes, absolutely. I think that's going to be our great segue as we roll into the 3 balls that are, we're going to start with the Radical Innovator. First ball in the Mo Heritage Series. We'll pop up a little picture of the one that I banged. There's the layout I have on mine. One of my favorite layouts. It's 50 by 50 by 4 by 35. One of my favorite layouts on asymmetrics. It gets the ball to kind of start up, flare, but just freaking keep going for days. Love that layout. It's actually rolled pretty good on the Thailand pattern. I shot a 245 with that ball, and used it a couple weeks ago on league, on just the house shot league. I think it's at 670 or something, so it was fine.
Yeah.
But, good ball, really good ball, and that's available today. Bowler Builders Pro Shops, big pearl asymmetric. Love it. New weight block design, Mopinel design. I'm guessing we're probably going to see some more, hopefully, out of the Mopinel library going forward, which would be great.
Yeah, you know what I like about it, Frankie, is I noticed that it gives you a little bit more miss room than some of the other ASIMs I've seen you throw lately.
Yeah.
Getting you a little bit more off-pocket shots, ones that might not have burnt off as much tilt, but
Yeah.
still goes through the pins.
I'll tell you, and I used it for 3 games in Lewiston on the house shot, and like I'd say midway through game 3, without a lot of lefty traffic, once I was able to push some oil down, I mean, I threw the back 7 with this thing, and it was just dial. It was awesome. So, you can get as far in as you want and still get pin carry. In that way, it reminds me a little bit of the Incognito Pearl. You can get in deep, and it still has that traction to kind of pick up. So, really good ball. But the ball that I was super excited about, to be honest with you, the Rattler, the one sitting right over there.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just an incredible piece of equipment. I did 80 by 4 3/4 by 40. I've been using this ball a lot. It was actually my second choice for the 1-ball Brawl, and for good reason. I mean, that ball is it's so perfect, benchmark symmetric. That 035 differential on it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like butter. You know what I mean? It's not too much, not too little. It's
What did you say you had up for a layout on that?
80 by 4 3/4 by 40.
4 3/4.
Yeah, 4 3/4 by the 80's theoretical. Basically, your thumb hole ends up being the first angle for the most part. But so just a little bit of info on the Rattler. That's the info sheet for you all.
This ball is going to be good on not only your house shot.
Yeah, I shot 713 in league with it last week. The ball was I used it all 3 games. I even used it a little bit on the sport pattern on Thailand, practicing with it the other day. Bowled 226 and practice with it. So, I mean, again, sport shot, house shot, it's going to be a ball that you can read everything else with and be like, okay, do I start here? Do I ball up? Do I ball down? Do I stay here? It's that perfect ball to give you that read to know what to go out of. So.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a lot less than most of the stuff in your lineup nowadays, probably.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's, again, that's perfect for me because it's something I can play up the lane a little bit more with and not worry about having to circle all the time. So
yeah, absolutely.
And you can check out radicalbowling.com to get more information on those. You can order them from us at Bowler Builders Pro Shops, available now. So check those out. A couple of great new releases from Radical. But I'm excited for you because this is one that you really dig. And this is the Track Legion Solid.
Legion Solid, really great, awesome ball. The more that I use it, the more that I like it, to be quite honest. It's purple ball. How can you not love
purple
that?
Ball strike. What's the layout you got on that? I got the ball picture up on the screen.
So I went with a 40 by 4.5 by 35, which matched the layout I had on my Obsession Tour Solid because the numbers are fairly close on both balls, and I wanted something to replace that ball. But in the current lineup, and honestly, Frankie, it's been doing that. And I find that the more oil I get into the cover, it's one of those balls that it's starting to react better and better.
That's nice. I like that. Yeah. That's something that I'm digging.
Not something you see all the time with the reactive stuff. I have noticed your Rattler kind of does that a little bit as well. So that's one thing I'm really liking about it. The reaction is true. The ball roll is incredible through the pins. It allows you on the house shot to play multiple angles if you want. I've been able to use it on Thailand and kind of bank it off of maybe the 9 board, the 8 board, and really start to get inside and get around it when I need to later on in the block or whatever. It's been a great piece. I can't wait to use it more, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I just drilled it a few weeks ago. Really, really love this piece. New piece by Track. The Legion Solid.
Yeah,
so it's only an 11 intermediate diff, so it's not a huge intermediate diff. In the 40s for the diff. So it's not a huge ASIM. Definitely a good tour ball for you for your sport shots, for your
not a huge intermediate differential on that one. Kind of like you said, harkens to that Hammer Obsession Tour Solid. You know what I mean? Which is again one of your favorites.
Which I really love on a lot of those medium sport shots, which tend to be the tougher ones for all of us. Really,
right? I agree. Yeah.
The short pattern, we know we're going to play outside part of the lane.
Yeah.
Probably use a big ball that slows down quick and just kind of pukes to the pocket a little bit.
Yeah.
Long pattern, we're going to be playing inside.
Yeah.
How tight depends on how much hook we see down lane.
What do we got for volume? And stuff like that.
So it's those medium patterns that seem to be tougher, and I think this is the ball that's going to get me through a few of those this season. I'm looking forward to using it more.
I agree 100%. And medium patterns for me, especially on sport, are definitely the hardest. Like, again, like you said, you're playing outside zone on short, you're playing inside zone on long. You just kind of tweak and adjust from there. But if you can find something to hit the medium, I think that's going to be a ball there that you look at. So
yeah, absolutely. And so I have the stealth as well. That's good. It's a really, really strong symmetric.
That's a big sim. Yeah.
Sim. This is a little bit of step below that, but still gives you a little bit of pop in the back.
It does. Yeah, I do. I like it a lot. So you can check that out. Boulder Builders Pro Shop will hook you up with one of those as well. So those are the 3 new releases that came out today.
Yes, please, along with a couple others, the Brunswick Defender,
the Verge Solid, the DV8 Verge Solid, that orange Verge. I think it's cool. That's just a really cool ball.
Kind of almost looks like the old Piranha orange, but it has some swirling in it.
Yeah, it's a cool ball.
So it has that DV8 feel, to it.
Yeah, so check all that stuff out. A lot of great releases from the brands of Brunswick. So, it's awesome. So, let's segue into the next tournament coming up.
Yeah,
we got the Carl's World Tour China Bowling Association Short 36 on November 6th. And my personal opinion is we're going to see a lot of urethane going down the lane for that tournament. 36 feet. Probably playing close to the gutter for most people. I know on the left side, I will be close to the gutter on that. It'll be interesting looking at the ratios and the volume on that pattern. Be kind of curious how it breaks down, how much oil pushes down, how that affects the outside play of the lane. Do you guys try to move in, loft it, stuff like that? We'll kind of see.
Have you seen the pattern yet, Frankie? Do we know how many mils it is? It's 36 feet, but
I don't think he's posted it. I've kind of I kind of went online and was kind of messing around looking for the World Tour China Bowling Association 36 pattern, and I don't know if I got the right one or not, but the one I looked at looked like it was kind of in that 1.7, 1.8 to 1 ratio range, and mid-20s for volume. So decent amount of volume for a 36-foot pattern, so it should hold up pretty well.
Yeah. So you don't necessarily have to be forced into urethane if there's
24. I think Josh Delphontis says 24 mils. So that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I said mid-20s, so that's pretty close to what I was thinking. So, so we'll be interested in, that tournament with $1,000 first place prize. Obviously, we're going to get a lot of interest in that. And so it should be pretty cool to see what happens there. And we'll see how the cut scores are. They'll probably be a little bit higher. Short patterns can sometimes, guys that find it can really find it. I wouldn't be surprised to see a bowler like Ramalam did in our tournament go plus 100 or more in this tournament. I think it may be negative cut, but I think you'll see the cut closer to even in this tournament. That's my guess.
So it'll be interesting to see if there is not a bound still. It
like we've had on Thailand right now, which has been tough. It makes that pattern infinitely harder with no gutter to play.
Right. Well, at 36 feet, does it take the few boards out of play? Does it take the 2, 3, 4 board out of play down lane?
Right. It's hard to say,
Right. It is hard to say. At 24 mils, it could. And then you get a lot of people using urethane that doesn't flare, like let's say purple hammers.
Right.
It's going to transfer some of that oil from the front to the back, making it squirrelier and squirrelier as the day goes on.
Right.
So it could definitely get ugly.
Well, that's why I think on the left side, being less traffic, I think it won't affect us as much. You know what I mean? It depends on how many lefties you follow and stuff like that. But for me, the urethane will probably play, or again, something like this, the Rattler, which is something that it clears the fronts very easily, but it's not stupid high differential. You know what I mean? No. So it's something that I can just kind of toss at the gutter down lane, watch it get out there, kind of bounce and just roll. So we'll see.
I hate to be this way on a day of such great releases that come out, but I'm really kind of looking forward to that purple reactive. I think for me, at least that's going to be a good ball on short, because when you do get like 35, 36 feet, sometimes there's a little bit of out of bounds, and if you slip one right, it doesn't make it back when you're using urethane.
Right.
I think that difference of having the reactive with that low diff might give me that little bit of misroom
enough.
Just enough, and still be able to get through the pins and not hit like a marshmallow when it hits pins.
That upcoming one's gonna be pretty cool. That should be a pretty good pre-seller. So and I think maybe next week we talk about that one a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Pretty excited about these today. Erica.
There's some good pieces here. If you're a fan of ASIMs, this is going to be a friend for you for sure.
If you're a little bit speed dominant, rev challenge, great ball to put in your bag for sure.
Yeah. If you want something that's going to control a sport shot, or if you want to drill it up fairly aggressive and go out there and use it on league night, this Rattler is going to be good for you.
Yep.
If you want a great control ASIM,
controllable ASIM is perfect.
Yeah.
You want to talk about benchmarks? Benchmark ASIM, benchmark
100%.
I mean,
100%.
these two here, you can't go wrong. If you want to build a symmetric and asymmetric arsenal, start here, and you can't go wrong. Like literally, you can't go wrong. Like that's perfect 1-2 punch. So we're also going to talk a little bit about November 13th. We have our next tournament, Mulligan Stew.
I can't wait.
I know it's one of your favorite events, one of mine too, but that's just a blast. You get to take one shot over in the 4 games of qualifying, and then once you get the match play, you get to call a mulligan on your opponent, which is awesome. I mean, match play is great in this tournament.
Like as much as Fridays and Frankie,
it's Friday City, baby, on Sunday. Friday
even
on
more
Sunday.
pride than not even bowling game 4.
Right, yeah, right, yeah. You might not even bowl game 3. Who knows? But that one's great. Okay, so Josh Alfonso getting back to us about that China one, 23.5 mils, 1:6-1 ratio. So yeah, interesting for sure. But
that sounds fun.
We do not have our pattern announced yet. We're working with the mad scientist to get the tournament. It should be a cool one. We've been working with him pretty hard, and he's working so hard. He's basically like, okay, we need to figuring out different blocks and wedges and different things for that. Yeah. So it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be different.
It's going to be a custom pattern that you've
another
never
custom
on.
FDDS pattern.
Yeah, so
so you can the FDDS
patterns. That's what we do.
So the FDDS pattern library, you can contact us. We can get a hold of Greg. We have basically a little zip drive of oil patterns.
Yeah.
So these are all our custom patterns. If you have a Brunswick machine, Envoy, it'll go
really,
right into your
really
machine.
Want to test your field of bowlers.
Right. You want to test them, and if they love, if they like challenge, then definitely download one of our patterins and.
If they're nerds like us that like to learn. Yeah. Because when you don't win, you learn, right?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Even when you win, you learn. Right. At our tournament. So big shout out to Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, great job.
I got to think One Ball Brawl is going to be one of the toughest tournaments of the year.
I think anywhere. I mean, honestly, I can't think of a tournament anywhere else where you can just bring one ball, don't get a chance to throw practice, pick the ball before you start.
Right.
And then use
it all day.
All day.
Every shot.
And, I mean, the fact that, if you really wanted to, it's a tournament where you could really screw with your opponent when you get to match play. If you want to bake that thing with a 180 pad and just rip on it, you can because we allow that.
Right.
So I think Master Splinter in Game 4 was just crushing his purple with a 360 pad every single shot on 7 and 8.
And
just every single ball going down the lane.
It's all good.
Yeah. Randy Plummer says stripes pattern. Yeah, like a fruit stripe gum pattern would be. It's not out of the wrong possibility.
I think that one's already in the works.
Yeah, we have something. Yeah, some candy striper pattern or something. So we're working on that. We always have patterns in the works. Don't trust me. Yeah. If you can think of
we
it,
we have a list of them. We couldn't run enough tournaments to be able to use them all. That's
absolutely. So that's coming up for Mulligan Stew. But first up, the Carl's World Tour. But there's actually some events going on this weekend. We want to give some props up to a few places. I know Just in Time Recreation is running a Baker tournament, which is something where Elvis, get away from the mic. My dog's just being. Speaking of, he's supposed to be D-bad. He's just bad right now. So
they're liking the attention.
They are. They're loving it. They want to be on the show tonight. So, anyways, lost my train of thought on that. Where was I going with this? The dog just fried me out on it.
The dog just fried you out. I mean,
I don't know. I lost my train of thought. If anyone's watching, please get me back on track. I totally lost my train of thought.
Yeah. Well, so
other tournaments.
Other tournaments.
Sunday Baker tournament. I think it starts at 11 o'clock. 5-person Baker teams. I think it's 10 games is what you end up bowling a Baker. So
So and it's 5-man teams. So you actually bowl 2 games, full games per bowler.
Correct. Each bowler bowls 2 full games. It'll be a lot of fun. So check that one out. $30 a bowler. Then also this weekend, I believe NEBA's running their women's series event on Saturday at Manchester, New Hampshire. And then on Sunday is the regular NEBA event at Manchester as well.
I think they have a senior event as well.
Is it okay? But I know there's definitely the regular tournament going on Sunday as well, and the women's. So so NEVA's got a bunch of stuff. If you're in the Manchester, New Hampshire area, check that out. If you're near the Lewiston area, check out the Baker tournament just in time. We're probably going to be there. I think we need a couple more bowlers for a team. So if anyone wants to bowl a couple of retro baits like Ding Dong and I, let us know.
Yeah.
And I think we got Scotty Too Hotty who was going to bowl with us. So I think we just need a couple more to make a team.
So I do know on that.
Oh, here we go. Brian Gaskell saying seniors is on Saturday as well as the women. So those are both running Saturday. The regular NEVA event is on Sunday. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Brian Gaskell. Appreciate it, buddy. So we just want to give a shout out to other tournaments in the area. Obviously, a lot of the bowlers that support their events come and support ours. So please, if our bowlers are out there, please go support these other tournaments because we can lift each other up. What is it? Rising tides lift all ships. So let's kind of live by that. So this is Elvis. This is my 6-year-old rescue red bone coonhound. He was on his last shelter when we got him. He is one of the best dogs you'll ever meet. He's 6 years old now. He was 30 pounds when we got him. And not to get too into it, but he was starving to death, and he had never been trained to be an indoor dog. And he is one of the best pups you could ever ask for. So I love Elvis. He's such a good boy. And he's on the show tonight as well. Yeah, he just wants to hang out with us. So.
The dogs just want some screen time.
They do. They want some screen time. So
one of the cool things about that Baker tournament, Frankie, is they're going to have you rotate your lineup. So you'll have,
that's right. Yes.
So each bowler will bowl the 10th frame twice. As you said, bowl 10 games total.
Yeah,
you have a 5-game team. So
that's right.
That's kind of cool. So each one of your bowlers gets to have that 10th frame experience in a Baker format. Not something you get to do much after college bowling.
That's true. So not too much Baker bowling. This is going to be a blast. Like, know, I planned on doing that. I got some stuff to do around the house this weekend, so I thought the Baker tournament would be fun.
Yeah.
Support local association bowling and stuff. So it'd be a good time. A lot of those bowlers do come and support our events. So hopefully make it to a NEVA event maybe next month or in December. I know Viali's running that big Thanksgiving weekend tournament event there. Yeah. So that'll be good. And hopefully getting some of his flyers. I think he's going to give them, maybe to Nut Sauce this weekend to bring up here. So we can distribute some of those at our other events that we're running. So definitely want to support the other tournaments in the area for sure. So, so I think we're pretty much going to wrap it up on that note. Unless anyone had any more comments or questions for us, we covered everything. I know Charlie hasn't opened up entries yet, I don't think, for his November 6th tournament. So when he does, you just hit the call the front desk at Gmail to get into that tournament. $1,000 first place prize, 64-player field. And, that'll be fun. And then when we open up our entries, what will probably happen as soon as Hungus fills up his field and gets onto a waiting list, since we're only a week from his event, we will probably open up our entries once he fills. Once he fills and gets to a waiting list, we will tell people, okay, at that point, we're going to open up. We don't, we'll piggyback onto his event, make sure that one fills first, and then ours will spill over again. Ours is still a $60 entry fee. So a little bit lighter on you, but we're still paying at least $600 for first place, and we were able to bump up those prizes on the bottom end and the mid-level prizes last time, thanks to the ball raffle and everything. So it definitely made it cool.
Really awesome. Yeah. And where else do you get to bowl a tournament where you actually get to take a mulligan, basically redo in your qualifying? Haven't you always wanted to do that once in your life?
Yeah, God, I wish I could have that shot back.
Yeah, just once. Now you can. But if you get into match play, it's even better because you make your
opponent take the shot over.
Mulligan.
You might not be. You think you're shut out, but maybe you're not shut out.
Yeah, it's so much fun. It adds a little bit of drama, and it's been fun being on the mic for those tournaments. Even
it is like I haven't made the finals of that, match play portion of that yet. As far as like the top 4 or the top 2, but it'd be nice to get in there and then calling on my opponent. I mean, I've made the finals, but not like the championship match of that. So that happens. We didn't tell everyone. King Aberlon's hanging out back here. King Aberlon's he's all hooked up. And
he needs a
look at this bowling pin. This is what happened at Bayside Bowl there a few weeks ago, and this baby's in rough shape, but
that's what happens on Fridays.
Yeah, this is kind of how you feel. This is kind of how I felt a little bit after my birthday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. But I had my best set of the season. So unfortunately or unfortunately, maybe that was the key.
Yeah.
Who knows? Unlock the key.
Hey, great
a bunch of shots. So Power Torque Pearl. That ball was awesome. So still available. All right, so we're gonna wrap this up. Everyone's got a bunch of stuff. We're gonna go watch some TV with the girls. So thank you everybody for tuning in to the Fridays with Frankie. We're gonna try to make it a regular thing again here on Friday nights for you. It's a blast. We enjoy it. We like covering a bunch of the local stuff. And if you have any suggestions for us, please bring it up. If you know of other events going on in the area that we can cover next week on the show, please, we would like to know about them and get some exposure for those events. And like I said, we should all just support each other in bowling and, just make it awesome for everybody. So thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. Thank you to Elvis and Blue who stopped by the booth and we're hanging out tonight. So, and Innovator, Rattler, Legion, Verge, and what else?
Defender.
Defender
Hybrid.
The Defender Hybrid.
Yeah, it has
Pick
that
those
new
up.
hybrid.
Oh yeah,
cover
it's that
stock,
like H22 cool cover stock that we have. Check that out. And you can pick those up. Bowler Billis Pro Shop will hook you up with right now with those equipment. And get them in your hands. Get them in your hands maybe this weekend and then start throwing them on the lanes. So
yeah, absolutely.
All right. So thank you everybody for tuning in. And until next week on the next Fridays with Frankie segment, stay cool, stay awesome to each other, and get in the center.